So, as some of you may know, I just moved, and these 5 credit cards have helped me move and helped me save a ton of money. It will probably save me about $2,000 by the end of this year. So no, this is not just a standard gimmick of signing up for cards with really high welcome offers since you have a lot of spend, and that's essentially how I'm saving so much money. No, none of that. Well, maybe just a little bit of that. But for the most part, this is using all the underlying perks, benefits, and credits that come along with these credit cards that most people don't even talk about. Like the Chase Sapphire Preferred giving you a free complimentary membership for a full year to Instacart Plus, and giving you $15 every single quarter that you could use towards Instacart purchases, at least up until July 2024, or even the Freedom Flex or the Freedom Unlimited giving you $10 every single quarter towards Instacart as well, to which I am using the full brunt of the entire amount of Instacart credits that we have between mine and my wife's Chase Sapphire Preferreds and her Freedom Flex, which has already given us effectively $40 worth of groceries completely for free in our first month of moving into our new apartment. And before you say it, yes, some of these prices are slightly inflated than just going to the store directly, but on average I've seen maybe just a 10% increase on prices, but having Instacart Plus also knocks down a lot of fees associated with that, and I always make sure to do pickup, not delivery. And this way I'm getting the most amount of that $40 as possible every single quarter. And I don't know what your food budget is, but personally, that $40 basically paid for the first 2 weeks of turkey burgers and rice for me, so that's not bad. And of course, any of these other Chase cards also come with these Instacart Plus credits that you can also start using effectively today if you want to. If you happen to be somebody that has a Chase Sapphire Preferred, you're actually going to be getting $15 not every quarter, but every single month towards Instacart, which if I had the Chase Sapphire Reserve right now, that's a lot of turkey burgers, let's be honest. But not only that, with all these same cards that I just mentioned, also have another underlying perk that a lot of people don't know about, but also probably shouldn't know about because, well, it's not necessarily easy to use, and it's not everywhere, but that is GoPuff. It's also another platform that you're going to be getting $10 per month, no matter which card is on that list right here. $10 every single month that can be used towards GoPuff. And if you're unfamiliar, GoPuff is, again, almost like an Instacart, where you can buy your groceries and kind of pay for your food bill every single month. But like I said, it's not everywhere. It's only in a select few places. Greenville, South Carolina is not one of those places, or else I would be able to use the full amount of this GoPuff credit every single month, but for me it's null and void, so that's why I didn't even include it in my totals, but if it's in your area, then awesome, and take advantage. And while I don't necessarily recommend it when you're first moving into somewhere, you probably want to save a little bit of money by actually buying groceries and cooking at home, but if you're someone that is super busy and you are going to be ordering food, you're also going to be getting complimentary DoorDash benefits. That's going to be giving you free delivery, discounted things, and whatnot, so at least that can save you a little bit of money while you're actually ordering food. But not only just the credits that come along with those cards, but these same set of cards also have multipliers towards spend that you're going to be using on your new apartment or house. Like, for example, if you're able to make use of it, Chad Money Minutes made this very apparent, but you can use the Chase Sapphire Preferred's online grocery categories towards Publix.
But Publix Companion app allows you to store a credit card, and when you walk into the store, you can actually scan a QR code at the register and use your app to pay for your groceries in store. And when you use your Chase Sapphire Preferred as a stored payment method, specifically for Publix, and you pay for your groceries in store, they will actually code as 3x online supermarket purchase.
Or just a grocery chain that actually links up to the online account. And as well, these cards also have a 3x dining categories. This way, if you are going to be eating out, maybe once per month, 2 times per month, whatever you're going to do to save money, well, you're at least getting a multiplier on that dining out. But again, just cook at home. It's a lot cheaper. Which also reminds me, the Chase Freedom Unlimited, one of these cards I mentioned, also has a special secret offer out right now, which effectively turns this card into a 3x catch-all credit card on all things. I did a video on it about a week or so ago, and a lot of people found value from it so far. This also could be a card that you do use for the full year and get 3x back Chase points on everything that you were to spend money on, whether it's furniture, whether it's groceries, dining out, etc., which I think is pretty beneficial. So if you want to learn more about that special offer, it's in the pinned comment below. But then also, one thing I found recently, which was super helpful in us actually saving a good amount of money, is the Chase Freedom Flex right now, the quarterly categories actually includes PayPal amongst a few other things. So now for someone who's just moving into an apartment, we have a bunch of furniture expenses, things we have to buy. But for some people that just got married and now moving into an apartment, there's a lot of furniture you have to buy, right? You have bookcases for her books, you have beds that we can sleep in, you have a couch that you can pretty much edit a video in. And all those things pretty much have 2 things in common. That is that they cost money, right? You have to spend money to buy these things. But the second thing is, usually they're bought at places like Ashley and some of these other websites that allow you to purchase through PayPal. So now you see where I'm going with this. So all of these purchases that we made online, all of our furniture, was all through PayPal. And this way we're actually eligible to get 5% back on all of those purchases in the form of Chase UR points, which I think is very, very powerful. But another little thing that I learned that I can take advantage of because I have the Curve card. Now the Curve card is essentially a card that lets you preload another card onto it. You guys know what the Curve card already is. But basically I could take the Flex card, put it on the Curve card, pay with the Curve card, and it'll direct straight to the Flex card. The reason you do this is because, well, the Curve card also earns 1% back on all those purchases, and you still get the 5x multiplier paying through PayPal for the Freedom Flex. So effectively getting 6% back on all of those purchases. So us personally, we don't necessarily want the cash back. We want to actually just use all these points that we're accumulating for future vacations. So in my estimation, we earned about 15,000 Chase UR points on just the furniture alone. And with that, we're going to end up transferring that over to Hyatt Hotels, which should get me about $300 worth of vacation hotel value. And of course, on top of that, that same spend ended up giving us about $30 worth of cash back via the 1% on the Curve card. So $330 of value back from about 3K spend, a little over 10% return on your money, depending on how you redeem it and everything like that. So that's just the way that we're estimating it based on our lives. Another little thing that we actually used, a little bit of a hack, I'll be honest, to actually save a little bit more money on all those Amazon purchases is becoming an Amazon associate. Now, my wife and I both got accepted into the Amazon associate program, and from what I learned, it's actually very, very easy. You basically just need at least 500 to 1,000 followers on social media, so that could just be like 500 followers of friends on Instagram. It seems like there's a really low barrier to entry, but as long as you have those thresholds, usually you could be approved for and become an Amazon associate, and with that, you can now start making links that you can send to people, and if they buy that thing via your link, you're going to be getting a certain amount of commission. So anywhere from like 1% all the way up to like, I think 14% on electronics, something like that, something like a crazy amount. So what we've been doing is, well, and since she hasn't technically by the law changed her last name yet, we could just technically use her card to pay for all the things via my Amazon associate link or vice versa, thus giving ourselves that commission money. Shiesty? Hell yeah. But I'm trying to save some money here. Come on, you gonna fault the guy to save some money? Definitely recommend. If you got 500 followers, send those links to your friends and family. They're eventually going to buy something, and you're going to earn some good commission money. Now, with all the Instacart credits and GoPuff credits, etc., we also have an ability to get more groceries completely for free. So I have the Amex Gold Card, and you guys already know you're going to be getting $10 every single month towards Uber Eats, $10 every single month towards some restaurants and Grubhub, etc. So what I'm doing now is, once per month, if we're going to be dining out, it's going to be using that Grubhub credit, and we're going to try to get as close to that $10 as possible, so this way we're not spending that much money out of pocket. But then secondly, that $10 Uber credit could be used towards Uber Eats, and with Uber Eats, you actually now can start ordering groceries via like a Target we've been doing. But on top of that, what I've learned is when you go on the Uber Eats app, very, very common to find a 40% off coupon for Target. So what we've been doing is just waiting for that 40% coupon, putting a bunch of stuff in the cart for groceries, for Target, for pickup, although sometimes these coupons will actually force you to do delivery, which you got to bite the bullet there. So with all of that, you're getting the 40% discount and the $10 every single month towards Uber Eats. You're getting with the Amex Gold Card. But then on top of that, again, I do have the Amex Platinum Card, which gives me another $15 every single month. So $25 every single month towards more groceries, which is, turkey and rice. And then if you just wait long enough to get that 40%, that 30% discount at Target, now you're actually boosting your savings upwards to like, $35, $40, even a little bit more in some cases, depending on how much you're actually putting in the cart. Of course, you're paying an annual fee to have the Amex Platinum Card, to have the Amex Gold Card, but for the groceries alone, and just the credits allotted for that category specifically, we've easily saved way more than the credits or the hike prices would ever really be on those apps. And of course, I did not even mention pretty much the biggest reoccurring payment that comes with moving into an apartment or moving into a house. More so at this time for an apartment, but that is the monthly rent. Now our monthly rent is about $1,500 every single month with utilities included. So with that $1,500 payment every single month, we're going to be using the Bilt Card, right? It just makes sense. So the Bilt Card is going to be giving you 1x Bilt points per dollar spent on all rent purchases, and if you do have any surcharges, fees like 2%, 3%, on top of that, Bilt will eat those fees. So essentially just paying your rent with the Bilt credit card, getting 1x back on everything. For us, that would end up being about 1,500 Bilt points every single month, or 18,000 Bilt points every single year, which again, just like the Chase points, can be transferred out to Hyatt, and in my conservative estimation would be worth about $360. So is it life-changing? Not necessarily, but value back nonetheless. And that's not necessarily the full story though, because what I plan to do with the rent, and what I think a lot of people probably should do to gain a little bit more value than the Bilt Card, because the Bilt Card is not necessarily free. I mean, it has a $0 annual fee, but it also requires you to make 5 payments every single month to Bilt, so this way you can actually get any of those multipliers that are on that card. So how much money are you really spending for those 5 different purchases? Mandatory. I don't know, like, are you spending just a penny each and it's only 5 cents? I don't think that's possible. Are you spending $5 each purchase? Then you're spending $25 a month, or, $300 every single year just to pretty much make that card useful. People say it's not an annual fee card, but actually it kind of does. I was just thinking about it and I was like, I have to use the card kind of a lot, 5 times, and like, how cheap am I? I usually just buy packs of gum, which mitigates the, pseudo annual fee, but I digress. But what I think would be the better option is just maybe every few months, depends on your velocity, get a card for the welcome offer and just put the entire spend of the rent on that credit card and just eat that 3% fee. Because really, just think about it. Like, if I were to get maybe the no annual fee Hilton card, the new revamped one, they're offering 100,000 Hilton Honors points for $2,000 worth of spend in the first 3 months. So that $1,500 would pretty much wipe away the entire minimum spend. I would end up getting 100,000 Hilton Honors points, which would end up being worth about $500 or $600 in value. And you just had to pay the $45 surcharge. I mean, it's like 12x plus the value. So I don't see any harm in eating the 3% surcharge for an awesome welcome offer, especially if you guys out there using your business cards for rent. I mean, that's you're making some money. And like I mentioned kind of briefly, all my utilities are already baked into my rents, right? So I don't actually have to have a card for utilities, whereas if you are a person that does have utilities that are not connected to the rent, it's, through the separate agencies and whatnot, then I would recommend probably the US Bank Cash Plus card. So this is a card that I would get if my utilities weren't already baked in, but this is a card that's essentially giving you 5% back on all your utilities, so your energy bill, water bill, etc., your gas bill. So I would say that could be beneficial to you depending on your situation. And that goes for if you're not renting, even if you bought a house. Now, before we go into some alternate ways to save a little bit money that I haven't taken advantage of yet but want to, just know you could scan either one of these 4 QR codes, whether it's the special offer on the Chase Freedom Unlimited or just the Amex Gold Card, Bilt Card, whatever, to learn more about these credit cards if you so choose, and if you think it could save you a lot of money on your renting or home buying situation at this time. And of course, just screenshot, go into your photos on your phone, hold the QR code down, and then you click the link and it'll go right there. So you're welcome to Millennial and Gen Z living. But what are some alternate ways to save a little bit more money on top of that? So we talked about a few alternate ways, like the Amazon Associate link, which I think could be infinitely valuable for really a world where everyone's on Amazon. But think about a card like the Amex Platinum card. Maybe there's a card that you have already. Well, this card does come with a Walmart Plus membership, typically valued about $155. And that's going to be giving you all these different perks that are on the screen right here towards if you're someone that wants to shop at Walmart, which we have done to buy a few things so far. Also, when you do have one of these Amex cards, like the Amex Gold, the Platinum, or even just some other lower tier, like the Amex Blue card, or even like the Hilton cards and whatnot, these cards actually come with what are called Amex offers, which a lot of people end up sleeping on, myself included, but it's an entire list of all these different offers that kind of revolve and change from day to day, but will give you discounts, money back, or even just percentages off your spend on any of these different stores right here. So I saw more than a few occasions the store we were going to get our sleeper sofa at, which was Ashley's home store, and I saw that not only on Amex offers, but also Chase offers 5 to 10% back, but we figured that the PayPal 5% would be actually more beneficial versus just the benefit the Amex offer was giving us. But for someone who is moving into a new place, there's going to be a lot of different places you're going to be ordering stuff from. Go check your Chase and Amex offers. I'm sure there might be an offer on there, which could save you just that much more money. And of course, not to mention things like Rakuten, Ibotta. These are all sites that basically you could add your card into it and you get some added value. Like, for example, Rakuten, add your card on there. It's an extension you can put on your browser, and pretty much any items that you want to buy, you could be reimbursed certain points, cash back, etc. Things like Ibotta and these online sites that will give you a bunch of different coupons to, again, daily necessities or just things you're going to be buying, especially during a move. More money. And another alternate is kind of like what I said earlier. If you just don't care about any of these cards and you don't want to segment anything, just get a card that has a high minimum spend, high welcome offer, or even a card like some of these hotel cards that give you a free night certificate just for spending about $15,000 on the card in a given year. Maybe just do that and call it a day and put all of your furniture, all of your rent, all of your groceries, all your utilities, and etc. Just put it on that one card, and you know you're going to be getting a certain amount of value back at the end of the year, right? What are some ways you think that I'm kind of still lacking and I could probably take more advantage of just because I'm missing right now? So please let me know your hacks, tips, and tricks below. And like I said, in the meantime, the Chase Freedom Unlimited, that special secret offer that they have right now, honestly would be a card I would be using for like the next 6 months to a year if I wasn't over 524. So, what can you do? 524 sucks.